All right, picture this. Two countries, two giant egos, one question. Who can build the biggest world-ending firecracker? Welcome to the nuclear arms race, featuring scientists crying, politicians arguing, and the entire planet sitting there be like, guys, can we not? So, what was this nuclear arms race?
The nuclear arms race was a major part of the Cold War, where the United States and the Soviet Union rapidly built more and more powerful nuclear weapons. This constant buildup created global fear and uncertainty, because both countries were capable of destroying each other and the world many times over. Every political and military decision during this era was influenced by the possibility of nuclear conflict. Both superpowers believed that by having the largest nuclear arsenal, they could stop the other side from attacking.
Why did the arms race start?
The arms race began when the United States developed the first atomic bomb in 1945, showing a level of military power the world has never seen before. The Soviet Union responded by testing its own atomic bomb in 1949, which officially began the nuclear competition. Both countries believed that their safety depended on building stronger and more advanced weapons than their rival. This created a continuous cycle of production that led to thousands of nuclear warheads. It also introduced the idea of mutually assured destruction, meaning that if one side launched a nuclear attack, the other side could destroy them in return.
Right, man, enough yapping. It's me, Wizard Wiz here, and I'm gonna simplify things for you. So, this is kind of how it went. In 1945, the USA rolls up with two bombs named Little Boy and Fat Man. Cute names, but horrifying results. You can see where this is going. They kind of just went, yeah. And then, in 1945, the United States just decides to drop atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So then the entire world's like, huh? And then the Soviet Union's like, oh nah, you get a giant exploding toy, but I don't. Slide the blueprints, man. So in 1949, they build their own. And the scientists on both sides are like, this is extremely dangerous. But then the governments were like, okay, but hear me out. What if it was even more dangerous? Wow, that escalated really fast, huh? Because in the 1950s, the USA invents the hydrogen bomb. It's 1,000 times stronger than the first bombs. So basically, they were like, what if we took destruction and put it on steroids? And that's what you got out of it. And as expected, the Soviet Union was like, cool, I'll take two. And then came the ICBMs. And these were missiles that could cross the planet. It was kind of like Amazon Prime delivery, but it's instant destruction.
Bruh.
Cool, so now they have all these weapons. And then what happens next? Well, actually nothing. No fighting happens because it was just constant don't you dare energy. Their main military strategy was just, if you hit me, I'll hit you harder. Then we can both explode. Yippee.
Bruh.
And this is called mutually assured destruction, or MAD. Because, yeah, it was mad. Oh shoot, I almost forgot about you, Canada. Let's hand it back to my buddy here. So what did Canada's early role in the arms race look like?
Canada played a larger role in the nuclear arms race than most people realize. We supplied essential uranium for the Manhattan Project, which helped create the first atomic bombs. As a founding member of the NATO in 1949, Canada became part of the Western Defense Strategy, which relied heavily on nuclear deterrence. Canada was also located directly between the United States and the Soviet Union, which meant that Soviet missiles aimed at American cities would pass over Canadian territory. Because of this geography, Canada became an important part of North American defense.
So then what were some of Canada's defense responsibilities?
In 1957, Canada and the United States created NORAD, a joint air defense organization designed to detect and respond to incoming Soviet bombers or missiles. To support NORAD, Canada built three major radar systems across the north: the Pine Tree Line, the Mid-Canada Line, and the Dew Line. These radar networks were massive defense projects that cost billions of dollars and transformed Canada's northern regions. However, they also disrupted indigenous communities by changing hunting routes, bringing in military personnel, and altering traditional lands. This shows how deeply the arms race affected Canadians who lived far from major cities.
How did the arms race impact Canadians?
Arms race had a major impact on everyday life in Canada. Many Canadians lived with the constant fear of nuclear war, and this fear influenced media, politics, and public discussion. Schools held duck and cover drills, and governments made evacuation and fallout plans in case of a nuclear strike. In the Arctic, radar construction connected to NORAD disrupted indigenous communities by challenging traditional hunting areas and bringing in southern military workers. Nuclear fear also influenced Canadian culture. Movies, books, and news coverage often focused on the possibility of nuclear conflict.
Why does the nuclear arms race still matter today?
The nuclear arms race is still important today because thousands of nuclear weapons remain active around the world. Rising global tensions make it important to understand how close the world once came to nuclear conflict. Canada is still part of NATO and NORAD, which means nuclear policy continues to play a role in our national security. By understanding the arms race, Canadians can better appreciate the importance of diplomacy, disarmament, and preventing future nuclear conflict.
Thank you for watching and peace out from Wizard Wiz.